Imagine a god so powerful that he doesn't need armies, plagues, or messengers to make his will known. Amadioha, the god of thunder and lightning, is the embodiment of divine authority, commanding the very sky to obey him. When he speaks, it is not with words, but with the deafening roar of thunder that shakes the earth and sends shivers down the spine of all who hear it. He doesn't need legions of followers to carry out his will, his power is absolute, his judgment swift. In the heart of southeastern Nigeria, where the sky is alive with the power of the gods, Amadioha's presence is unmistakable. His voice is thunder, and his anger is lightning. There is no mistaking his divine authority when the heavens rumble. Those sounds are not mere weather, they are the voice of Amadioha, the mighty god who commands both the weather and the fate of mortals. But even a god of such immense power must be respected, for to challenge Amadioha is to court disaster. What happens when a mortal dares to stand in defiance of such an unstoppable force? The story we're about to unfold answers that question. This is a tale of a king's pride, his defiance of the divine, and the wrath of Amadioha that forever changed the course of a kingdom. Before we dive deeper into this myth, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're enjoying these stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support means the world. Now, let's journey into the heart of a king's tragic downfall. Before we get to the fall of King Judea, let's first understand the force that led to his downfall, Amadioha. In Igbo mythology, Amadioha is not just the god of thunder and lightning. He is a symbol of divine justice, the one who maintains moral order in the world. To the people of southeastern Nigeria, Amadioha is a god who demands respect, but more importantly, he represents the balance of the universe. His power is not only destructive but also restorative. Amadioha doesn't speak softly. When he chooses to act, his presence is felt with the roar of thunder, a sound that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. When blood is spilled unjustly or when sacred vows are broken, it is Amadioha who serves as the ultimate enforcer of justice. His strikes are swift, decisive, and absolute. No mortal is above his judgment. Often depicted as a radiant masculine figure, Amadioha's power is represented by the sacred white ram. This ram symbolizes purity, light, and the righteous wrath of the thunder god. His connection to the sky is profound, as he governs thunder, lightning, and the sun. It is said that when lightning strikes, it is no accident, it is Amadioha's judgment coming down from the heavens. People honor Amadioha not out of fear alone but also reverence. During his festivals, offerings of white animals, yams, and prayers are made to him, and his priests do not beg for favor. They speak his will. For Amadioha, his word is law, and his actions are swift and final. But not everyone respects his authority. In the kingdom of Nurio, nestled between the fertile rivers of southeastern Nigeria, King Judea sat on his throne, a ruler of immense power. His name meant, the one who holds justice, but in truth, Judea was far from just. His kingdom was prosperous, its people thriving under his rule. Yet, his pride was boundless, and his arrogance unmatched. Judea believed that he was above all laws, human or divine. For years, he had expanded his kingdom, silencing any who dared to oppose him. His power grew unchecked, and with each victory, his belief in his own invincibility deepened. He declared himself the supreme authority, greater than any god, even Amadioha. One day, a humble priest from Amadioha's shrine visited the king, bringing a dire warning. "My king," the priest said with respect, "Amadioha has seen the blood you have spilled unjustly. He awaits your atonement." But Judea, intoxicated by his own pride, threw his head back in laughter. "Let him wait forever," he sneered. "I am king, not him. If Amadioha dares, let him come down himself." It was an arrogant challenge, one that would prove fatal. For in the world of the Igbo, words carry immense power. To challenge the gods with words is to invite the wrath of the heavens themselves. And so, Amadioha's response was inevitable. That night, the sky above the kingdom of Nurio seemed to come alive. Thunder rumbled across the heavens like the fury of 1,000 chariots, and clouds gathered ominously above the palace, forming a shape that looked eerily like a ram's head. Lightning crackled through the air, dancing in the sky with terrifying precision. But King Judea, intoxicated by his own pride, paid no attention to the growing storm. He remained in his palace, surrounded by his warriors, his wives, and his counselors. Yet his arrogance overshadowed them all. Let the sky grumble, he boomed, dismissing the storm as nothing more than a passing disturbance. I am the lion of the earth. No god commands me. Far from the palace, an old woman, once a revered priestess of Amadioha, felt the ominous shift in the air. She stood alone in her village, gazing into the darkening sky. Her heart filled with dread, and she muttered softly, "On Adela, death is near." She knew that the signs of Amadioha's wrath were unmistakable. A ram, not of flesh and bone but of lightning and storm, appeared in the sky. Its eyes burned like molten fire, and its presence was a clear omen: judgment was near. As the storm continued to rage, the people of Nurio began to feel an overwhelming sense of fear. The air grew unnaturally hot, thick with tension. The lamps flickered and died, unable to sustain their flames. Animals scattered, instinctively fleeing from the energy they could not understand. Even the chickens, usually steady and unafraid, fell silent. In the royal palace, cracks appeared in the marble floor beneath King Judea's throne. The earth itself seemed to groan, a warning from the heavens. But still, Judea sat unmoved, drunk on his own power and pride. In an attempt to quell the growing fear, the royal drummers began their rhythmic beats, hoping to drown out the storm's fury. But as the first beat echoed through the palace, the thunder struck. The sound was so powerful that it shattered the drums instantly, their skins torn apart by the sheer force. Undeterred, Judea rose from his throne, walked onto the balcony, and spread his arms wide. "If Amadioha is real, let him strike me down," he shouted. "I fear no ghost. I rule by my own hand." In that moment, the heavens responded. A fierce wind swept through the palace, extinguishing every torch, plunging the court into darkness. The sky above didn't just darken, it tore open as if an invisible force had ripped the veil between the mortal and divine realms. Then, with terrifying precision, a single bolt of lightning shot down from the sky. It wasn't aimed at the palace. It wasn't aimed at the ground. It was aimed directly at King Judea. The bolt struck the heart of his throne, the sacred Ioko with throne inlaid with gold, turning it to ash in an instant. Judea was gone, no body, no remains. Only his broken crown, lying amidst a circle of scorched earth where he had once stood. The storm roared as if in triumph, and the people of Nurio cried out in shock and fear. But their voices were drowned beneath the deafening sound of thunder, the heavens weeping as the land was cleansed. Peace would return, but the price had been steep. The myth of Amadioha and King Judea is not just a tale of retribution. It is a warning, a powerful reminder of the consequences of pride and arrogance. No mortal, no matter their strength or stature, can escape divine justice. In Igbo culture, and many African cultures, the gods are not distant or detached. They are alive, present, and active in the lives of the people. They guide, they protect, and when necessary, they punish. Amadioha's wrath is swift and just, but it is also restorative. His thunderbolts are not mere punishment, they are acts of justice. Judea's fall is a stark reminder that no one, no matter how powerful, can stand above the gods. His arrogance led to his downfall, and Amadioha's judgment was not just a punishment, but an act of restoration. The white ram that appeared after Judea's death was a symbol of the divine balance restored. The white ram, glowing like a divine creature, wandered the kingdom after the storm passed. It was a symbol of purity and atonement. The people of Nurio knew that this was a sign from the gods, balance had been restored, and peace would return. Amadioha had reminded them that true leadership is not about ruling with an iron fist but about humility, wisdom, and respect for the divine forces that govern the world. The storm had passed, but the lesson remained: no ruler can escape the reach of justice, and no one is above the will of the gods. Now that you've heard the story of Amadioha's wrath and King Judea's tragic fall, take a moment to reflect. What does this myth teach us about power, humility, and the consequences of overstepping boundaries? Does it resonate with the challenges we face in our world today? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible myths and legends from African culture. Which myth would you like to hear next? Drop your suggestions in the comments, I read them all. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of African mythology. Until next time, remember, respect the forces around you, and never forget, though the skies may be calm, the thunder can strike at any moment.